This is Radharasa Nidhi class. We're continuing with verse 74. We were discussing the Madhura Ras of Radha and Krishna Vrindavan. Is very, very far removed from all the Brijvasis. Although they live in the same village with Krishna and Radharani, they don't have access for various reasons because of their sambandha and relationship with Krishna. So this is the most secret ras and most secret affair of Radha and Krishna and the gopis. Krishna and the gopis' love affairs. It's extremely confidential and rahasya. His mother doesn't know, his own dearest friends don't know, what to speak of his servants. Dore snigdha parampara vijayatam Dore sorin mandali Vritya santu vidurato Rajapater anya prasanga Hutaha Yatra Shri Vrishabhanuja Krita Rati Kunjodare Kamina Dwarasta Priya Kinkari Pramaham Shoshyami Kanchi Dwanim. Translation. This is the prayer of Shripad in his Manjari Sarup. His Mudava Manjari. He's posted at the door of Radharani's Kunja, doing the service there of Shravanam, hearing the wonderful sounds of Radha and Krishna's ornaments jingling and tinkling, along with their pastimes of intimacy within the kunja. That's going on with his ears, but then his eyes are ever watchful, looking from the left to the right, and all back and forth, back and front, to see if anyone may be coming there to disturb the confidential pastimes in the Madhura Rati of Radha and Krishna's long-awaited Surata Leela in the Kunjas of Vrindavan. Are there any friends coming? By chance, are there any servants? And God forbid, is Chatila coming? What to speak of Vipaksha Sakis, Chandravali, or anyone else? So he prays that all these great, wonderful, loving associates of Krishna, that they stay far away. They stay far away from the bower. Later they can be with Krishna, but not now. Oh, I pray, may the loving relatives of the Lord, the affectionate family members, Snigdha Parampara, may they remain far away, as well as Krishna's dear cowherd boyfriends, far, far away, and may all his obedient servants simply fade into the background. What to speak of anyone else? Anya prasanga kuta. Why am I praying like this? Because the divine daughter of Vrishabhanu, Sri Vrishabhanuja, along with her lusty paramour, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Krita Rati Kunjodare Kamina. Radha and Krishna are enjoying an intimate, loving affairs within the creeper-shaded bower house, Kunjodare. And I am standing, Dwarasta, I am standing outside the door as her Priya Kinkari, and I am simply listening. Shoshyami Kanchi Dwanim. I'm listening to that wonderful musical concert of their ornaments, jingling in harmony with their moods of love. So we've heard about how and why the different categories of servants. Can you close that door? Different categories of servants are kept away. So now we hear about, because we heard that the mother and father should stay dure, far away, and his intimate friends, his Priyanarma Sakhas, they should also stay far away. But now we want to hear about the servants of Krishna, like Raktak and Patrak, and those house servants and Dasirati. And Shripad is saying, not dur, but vidurato. They should stay very far away. Britya vidurata these servants, they should stay very far away, very, very far from Krishna's forest pastimes. Krishna's servants in Braj, they stay far away from the pastimes and the love bowers. Why do they stay far away? Because the mood of the servants, the seva bhav of Raktak and Patrak, is imbued with their sthai rati of dasya. So these servants of Krishna and Braj, Raktak, Patrak, Payoda and others, although their relationship is very sweet and intimate with Krishna, they never forget that Krishna, who is Krishna? They always remember that Krishna is the most powerful and qualified. So they always remember Krishna's Aishvarya and his Adhikar, his high Adhikar as the Yuvaraj, the son of the king of Braj, Brajendra Nandana Sutta, Nanda Sutta, Brajendra Nandan. So they know, they always remember that he's the beautiful prince of Braj, Brajendra Kumar, the son of the king of Braj, Brajendra Kumar. So thus such servants, they have to stay far away from Krishna's Rahasya Nikunja Leela, because their mood is masculine. They're male servants and they have that mood, Dasya Bhav. It's incompatible, this Dasya Rati and this male consciousness of I am Krishna's male servant. It's incompatible. It's rasabhas with Madhurya Rati, with the intimate conjugal mood of Krishna and the gopis. So that concludes why all these different levels of Brijvasis, who are actually all Sambandha Nuga. There's Sambandha, their Sambandha, they have Ragatmika Bhakti Sambandha. So now we hear about the whole fortune. This one point of the verse is, just see the supreme fortune of the Manjaris. And he explains that. He says, look, this is param. He says, Dwarasta priya kinkari paramaham shoshyami kanchi dvanim. Aham param priya kinkari. I am the most fortunate. I am so fortunate because I'm a priya kinkari, standing at the gate of the kunja, the Keli Kunja, where Radha and Krishna Yugo are enjoying their divine transcendental Rati Keli pastimes, divine love sports within the bowers, this forest bower of Braj. How fortunate I am! This is param. I'm very dear. It's a very fortunate position. So Prabhupada Saraswati, he concludes this verse by establishing and proclaiming the supreme fortune, the topmost position of Radharani's Manjaris, maidservants and dasis. He says, basically he's saying, the rest of this verse he's saying, Neti Neti Bhav. No one that's Neti Neti, no other one, not this one. Not that one, not that servant in Sakya Bhav, and Neti Neti. Not that servant of Krishna in Vatsalya Bhav, and Neti Neti. Not even that loving mother, a most amazing loving mother, sweet, affectionate, loving mother of Krishna, Yashoda, or even his dearest bosom buddy, Sakha, Neti Neti. No, none of them can attain the intimate access to Radha and Krishna's confidential Madhura Leelas, like the surrendered maidservants of Krishna, surrendered maidservants of Radha. So he's saying, Dwarasta priya kinkari paramaham aham. I'm in param, just see the topmost position I am, see the greatest fortune. Compare my fortune to the fortune of Yashoda and Subal and Sridham and Balaram and Raktak and Patrak and Payoda and Nanda Baba and all the other servants and the various rasas and stairatis of Braj, they can't be here where I am right now. They can't have this privilege that I have right now. Not even Yashoda or anyone can attain. So just see the unbelievable high and privileged position of Swamini's Kinkari, her dasis, Priya Kinkari. Such is the beautiful, sweet, attractive name to describe a Manjari, maidservant of Ishwari. So far in our discussion of the various verses of Radhara's Sudhanidhi, these selected verses, of which there are about 40 out of the total of 272, that describe the Manjaris, we've heard them mention that the Manjaris are Kaikarnya, Paricharika, and Kinkaris, and Dasis, and Anucharis. But here, it's not just a Kinkari, but she's a Priya Kinkari. Very, very dear, intimate servant, Priya Kinkari. So this is certainly, one can think how this term Priya Kinkari is the sweetest term that we've heard so far to describe a Manjari. Like we say, Priya Priyatam, the Nimbarki Sampradaya, Nimbark, they refer to Radha and Krishna. We often, Gaudiya is generally called the divine couple, the divine loving pair. We refer to them as Radha Govinda Vijayate. And many names, Radha Raman, Radha Damodar, Radha Shamsundar. But the Mool Seva Murtis of the entire Gaudiya Sampradaya are Sri Rupa Goswami Pad's deities now being lovingly worshipped in Jaipur, Radha Govinda, Shri Radha Govinda. Although the Lord has so many other names and people have their favorites like Radha Raman or Radha Sham or Banke Bihari. So Radha Govinda is the general term. So this is Priya Priyatam is the Nimbarkis. They call Radha Priyaji, and they call Krishna Priyatam. Radharani is very dear and sweet, innocent, shy and affectionate, charming, talented, and satisfying. For Krishna, she's his dear. Priya means beloved, dear one, my intimate beloved. But then Priyatam means even more. Radha, Krishna says, "Oh Radharani, oh Priyaji, you're my Priyaji." Then Radharani looks at Krishna and says, "Oh, you're my Priya. You're also my Priya. You're also my beloved. I'm your beloved Priya, but you're my beloved Priya. You're very dear and near and within my very heart. But you're much dearer to me than I am to myself. And you're the dearest thing to me. You're not only dear to me, but you're the dearest person to me. Not thing, but dearest person to me. And I don't have anyone but you to be so dear. So you're my Priyatam." So Priya Priyatam. Because Krishna, sometimes Radharani has discussions, the gopis have discussions with Krishna. They say, Radharani tells Shyam, "We don't have anyone else. We don't have to worry about loving our mothers or fathers or brothers. All of our love is concentrated and focused and fixed completely on you. We're hoituki apratiyata, we're aikantiki, and param ati aikantiki lovers. Ek anti, there's no one there's no one for us but you. There's no one in our heart but you. Age Krishna, piche Krishna, upar niche, under bhar, bhaya dhaya. Everywhere for us is only you, our Priyatam, our Shamsundar, our Prananath. But you, Sham, your love is divided. Our love is unified and fixed and focused totally concentrated like a laser light beam on your seva, on your beautiful form and lotus feet. But your love is divided. You can't say you're an Aikantiki lover of us because you have so many Priyas. Priya Chandravali and Priya Shaibya, Priya, so many Priyas you have. And then what to speak of, so much love you have, so much affection, intimacy you shower upon your mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba and Dao Balaram and Balabhadra and all the coward boys, Subal and Sridham, and your servants. What to speak of your cows, how much you love them, and the forest and the creatures. Your love is spread in so many directions all over Braj Mandal. Everywhere your love is spreading and radiating like the rays of the sun emanating from the vast sun planet. So how can you concentrate on us? How can you fix your heart and mind on us? Because your heart is full of so many beloveds, so many dear objects of your affection. But for us, you are one and only and no other. Anyata, anyata, anyata. There is no other Priya, there is no other dear one for us. Therefore, you, Sham, and you alone are my Priyatam. So this is the idea of Priya Priyatam. And the Nimbarkis, they affectionately, intimately refer to their Ishtadevata as Priya Priyatam. So here the Manjari is being affectionately described by Sripad as Priya Kinkari. Priya Kinkari Param. Priya Kinkari Paramaham. Dwarasta. I'm so dear, I'm situated at your door. Because there are thousands of kinkaris and thousands of maidservants. And they're all doing some seva from moment to moment. So right here at the door, your Kunja Dwara, I am the only one. It's my good fortune, my supreme fortune, that I'm standing here. So we discussed already this word kinkari, Priya Kinkari, is a combination of two words, kim, which means what, and karomi, may I do. Kim karomi becomes one word, kinkari. In other words, the humble, sweet handmaiden of Srimati Radharani, like Tulsi Manjari, Rupa Manjari, they are standing before Radha with folded hands and saying, "Oh my Priya, oh my Prana Priya, oh Radha, how may I serve you? Oh Radha, oh Radhaju, oh my Prana Priya, how may I serve you? How may I please you?" So what can I do to please you? Thus comes the name Priya Kinkaris, the dear, sweet maidservants of Priyaji Sri Radha. There's Priyaji and Priya Kinkari. Priyaji Radha and Priya Kinkari, me, or you. And what is that supreme fortune which far exceeds and is way beyond all of Krishna's loving Vrindavan devotees already described? What is that fortune? To have Radharani surrendered and affectionate, to be Radharani's surrendered and affectionate maidservant, her Priya Kinkari. Just think, standing by the gate of the Kunja. Like there may be many servants, a wealthy person may have many servants, a chauffeur to drive his car, a chokidar to open his front gate, and he may have a cook to cook his meals, and someone to massage him, and he may have gardeners and malis, and someone to take care of his clothing, wash and iron his clothing, or design and produce his clothing. So many servants he may have. But when he's in his bedroom with his wife, that master of the house, then he may appoint one servant to stay there near the door. I don't think he would, but just imagine. I don't think anyone would want anybody to be anywhere near your door. But just imagine, if by chance, which is unimaginable, but someone will be chosen for that very privileged position, one could understand that he's very, very close to the wife and very, very close to the husband and very, very trusted and very, very transcendental. So he would not be affected by Kam or Kamani himself. But not a very good analogy, but the idea is, here that lucky Manjari is. That's why she says, Shripad says, Aham Param Kenkri. Param means I'm not, right, at least right now, I don't consider myself, because obviously the mood of the Mantris is very, very humble. And Gauranga Mahaprabhu is trying to teach us how to become Manjaris from the very beginning of our sadhana, Raganuga sadhana, which he came to preach. And from the beginning of our spiritual practices, he wants us to be so humble, non-responsive, totally passive and non-responsive. Whatever happens to us, we just keep standing there. We just keep serving, whether you cut my branches or pluck off my leaves, or you rip off my bark, rip all the bark off the trees like some demons do in Vrindavan to destroy the trees for their own advantage. Or whether you cut my branches for firewood or steal all my fruits and don't give any to the birds that sit in my branches and sing so sweetly for my pleasure. So the tree also has his mood. There's something called subjective reality and objective reality. So subjective reality is your viewpoint of others and your viewpoint of nature and your viewpoint of the world. And an objective reality is others' viewpoint of you and nature's viewpoint of you and the world's viewpoint of you. So when you see the tree, you say, oh, the tree has so many fruits, they're for me. So let me take all those fruits for my advantage to eat or to sell. That's your viewpoint, looking at the tree. But and you're looking at the tree and you're looking at the fruits. So you're looking at the fruits thinking, yes, these are for me. But the tree who produced those fruits, what is the tree's viewpoint? What is his subjective view, which becomes the objective view for you? He's the producer of the fruits, he's the controller of the fruits, and he's the actual owner of the fruits. They belong to the tree, the mango tree. So you might ask him, oh, Mr. Mango Tree, if he was conscious, and he is conscious. Everything is consciousness, and everything is personal. But when we have lack of consciousness ourselves, lack of divine consciousness or holistic consciousness, then we only see subjective reality. Me, me, me. Aham mameti. And this, of course, is the 10th offense to the holy name. Aham mameti. Listed in Sanskrit. To only think in terms of I and mine, which is, of course, probably the most biggest stumbling block to ever chanting the holy name without offenses, the 10th offense. It's generally translated as to maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. If anyone claims to be a Vaishnava, he must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to advance on the path of bhakti and attain the desired result, which is Krishna Prema. So that is to some extent correct, but in Hari Bhakti Vilas, this offense, this Namaparad number 10, is listed, and there's a commentary there in the Hari Bhakti Vilas by Sanatana Goswami explaining how Aham Mameti affects the different categories of devotees, from the Vairagis, the Sannyasis, and Uttams, and Madhyams, and Kanishtas. So although generally we hear that the most grievous offense is nam nam papam, something like this, which is called the 7th offense in Sanskrit, and that's translated as to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. So we heard like that, and certainly that is a grave offense of insult to the Lord. It's like taking money and food from someone, then hitting them in the head. Say, what is this? I'm giving you so much money, so much advantage, so much food and nourishment, and then you hit me and beat me in the head? How crude, how rude, how offensive. So Sri Mahaprabhu is giving us so much benefit, so much wealth, the wealth of bhakti, the wealth of vairagya, the wealth of gyan. Because bhakti, when bhakti comes in the heart, by the mercy of Sri Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna, and Guru, then we attain automatically. Bhakti has two sons. Bhakti Devi has two sons, Gyan and Vairagya. This is in the first canto of Bhagavatam. So when one becomes a devotee, then he acquires, by the mercy of Sri Mahaprabhu, Sri Guru and Krishna, he acquires transcendental knowledge, paravidya, to see, to distinguish reality from illusion, and to function as a proper discriminatory Vivek Vaishnava, a Vaishnava with discrimination. And then he receives, with bhakti, he receives vairagya, which means detachment. He becomes detached from non-devotional activities, places and persons, and of course, food. So non-devotional activities are those activities which are not loving to the Lord and not pleasing to the Lord. And they're a long list. But primarily means the four regulative principles in one way. In other words, to enjoy the senses, to enjoy the body irreligiously or against the will and wish of the Lord, that is offensive and ultimately irreligious and oftentimes sinful. So we're chanting the holy name, and because of the mercy of Sri Mahaprabhu and Sri Guru and Vaishnavas, we have received transcendental knowledge and detachment. So therefore, we're following the principles. We're not committing sin. We're not having illicit sex. We're not eating meat and fish and eggs, or smoking, or drinking coffee, tea, etc. And all these basic sattvic principles we're following. It's all kripa. These are attainments and fortunes and wealth, art that we receive from Sri Mahaprabhu. So Sri Nam has given us all these things, and then if we chant the holy name and receive all these gifts, and then we simultaneously break the principles or commit sin, and thinking, oh, holy name, you've given me all these good things, and all these wonderful, sattvic, spiritual, blissful, peaceful, nice things, but now I also want to enjoy Maya too. I want to have a drink and smoke and gamble and smoke pot and enjoy women or men and also chant, because I know if I chant your name, everything will be removed. So this is considered the greatest sins, greatest offense. And certainly that is. So one may think, a sadhaka may think, well, I'm not doing that. I am following these principles, sattvic religious principles, and living a life of bhakti bhajan and Hari Guru Vaishnava Seva. So therefore I must be chanting Shuddhanam without offenses. Because we think, well, this is the most important one, and I'm not preaching to the faithless, and all the other ones we think, yeah, I am okay, I'm not committing these offenses. But what about this last one, ahamameti? This is a very big one, ahamameti. So how does ahamameti, I and mine, how does it take root, or how does it express itself and prohibit us from chanting without offenses, which is of course the goal, to chant without offenses. That means Shuddhanam. There's offensive nam and Shuddhanam. There's only two choices. You're either chanting with offenses, and second canto of Bhagavatam says, the proof that you're not chanting with offenses is that when you chant the holy name, you will have some tears in your eyes, some emotions will come to you. So if that's not happening, then you should understand the verse is telling in second canto of Bhagavatam that our hearts are steel framed. They're inside this cage or picture frame or frame, this frame of steel. There's a bird. Our heart is inside there, and so that steel house around our heart is made of these aparads. So the holy name cannot enter our heart, cannot stimulate our hearts, not excite our hearts and soften our hearts and melt our hearts. The condition of one in bhav is called masrinya. Masrinya is in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. It says that when bhava bhakti enters the heart, but if the heart is covered with steel, the steel plates and walls of aparads, then it's impossible for bhava bhakti to enter there. But when bhava bhakti does enter the softened, the purified and offenseless heart, then it softens the heart. The heart becomes very soft and because Krishna is very tender. Krishna's skin, his transcendental divine form, his body, his transcendental skin, if you want to call it, it's softer. His body to the touch is softer than a newly unfurled tamal leaf. Tamal is a vriksha, tamal vriksha. It's a tree, grows especially in Vrindavan or maybe elsewhere, and it's very new. The very baby leaves, very new leaves, are very, very soft, very soft. So Krishna is very soft, and his prema is very soft and tender and gentle and sweet. And it cannot live, Krishna cannot live in a hard place. A hard place is a heart full of aparads, a mind full of judgment, a mind full of rebuking and chastising of others. That's also offenses. An unsubmissive mind and an offensive heart are very hard, steel-like, granite rock-like places. Steel heart and granite mind. A mind made of granite, which is the hardest stone. Of course, diamond is also harder than that even. But so the bhava bhakti cannot enter there. So how does this aham mameti, 10th offense, affect even the bhajananandis, if you want to use that term? But let's say those sadhakas that are absorbed in chanting Nam and trying to do bhakti bhajan, Dhamvas, live in the holy Dham, and their main engagement is spiritual advancement, those fortunate devotees. So how does aham mameti enter them? How does this, aham means pride. So they say, they come up, the Bhajanandi sadhu, a very advanced Vairagi, he may come up, oh Prabhu, how many rounds are you chanting? You know, I'm chanting 2 lakhs a day. That's aham mameti. There are 3 things that are always kept secret. Your guru, your diksha mantra, and your bhajan. What is your particular bhajan path? These are secret things. But we find in the Vaishnava Samaj, Gaudiya Vaishnava Samaj, oftentimes, oh, you're only chanting 16 rounds. Oh, I was chanting 1, now I'm chanting 2. You should do 2. 3 rounds, 3 lakhs. So this is the name, the holy name of the Lord, manifests by its own free will. And that verse is quoted in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu by Sri Rupa Goswami. It says, Atak Sri Krishna namadi na bhaved grayam indriye sevan mukhe hi jivado swayam meva spurat yada. Swayameva spurat yada. That this holy name is Swayam. It's personal. It's Swayam Bhagavan. Krishna's too, Bhagavan Swayam. He's sporty. He manifests in the tongue, in the heart of one who's surrendered, offenseless, prideless. Atak Sri Krishna namadi nabhaven grayam indriye. Sevan, he says, Atak Sri Krishna namadi, the holy name Sri Nam will not manifest nabhavet grayam indriye. Grayam indriye, the indriya gram, the group of senses in the mind, the top sense, eyes, ears, hands, mouth, nose. The holy name, Navaved, it does not manifest there by your effort of chanting japa, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It does not manifest there. It manifests by the Sri Nam Prabhu's independent, personal, free will, because the name is God. Nam, Namno, Namani. So Krishna, Sri Nam Prabhu, or Sri Krishna Prabhu, or Bhagavan, he manifests where he wants, when he wants, how he wants. It's his sweet free will. So the name is Krishna. So we can't make the holy name dance on our tongue. We can't make the holy name manifest in our heart and mind. You can't make God do anything. And you can't make the holy name. It's a matter of he will manifest when he's pleased. Rad, R-A-D-H-A, Rad. Rad means pleased. But when we do aparad means displease. To make someone unhappy, to make God unhappy, to make Krishna unhappy, by insulting Vaishnavas, by offending Vaishnavas, by being proud, ahamameti. This is the 10th offense to the holy name. It's very deep, it's very pervasive within all of us. And this is the very cause of our whole material existence, ahamameti. Always calculating and thinking in terms of I and mine. I am big, this is mine. I am big Bhajanandi, I am big preacher, I am big sannyasi, I am big guru, I am big anybody. So the materialists have this consciousness and bhav, and so do spiritualists. So this amazing tika there in Hari Bhakti Vilas, where Srila Sanatana Goswami is talking about the Nam and quoting various verses and giving us rather illuminating tikas there on the 10th offense, where he's saying that he explains, he directly says in his comment, how is this offense found in the Vaishnav Samaj? He said, well, among the Vajranandis it's found like this, among the Madhyamadikaris it's found like this, and not among the Anishtadikaris. So what he's saying is it's at all levels, from the beginning, middle to the end, everyone, or many devotees are infected and infected by this quality of ahamameti, which is an aparad to the Nam. I'm chanting 2 lakhs of name a day, but I'm making offense of number 10, ahamameti. Very deep. We can consider that point as a side point in bhajan. But the fortune here of this manjari is being discussed. How great is her fortune? Dwarasta priya kinkari paramaham shoshyami kanchi dvanim. So this Radharani's most surrendered and affectionate maidservant. Priya kinkari. Kinkari means maidservant, but priya kinkari means most affectionate. Most affectionate. So she's standing by the gate of the kunj. Kunja dwarasta, and she's looking through the spaces between the flowers and latas, forming the gate of the dwarasta, the gate of that kunja. That priya kinkari is feasting her eyes, she's feasting, it's like we have Nayanotsav, it's described in Dasamaskanda, that when Krishna enters Braj, and all the gopis see Krishna, he's a Nayanotsav, he's a festival for their Nayan. Nayana Biram. He's a utsav. He's a festival for their eyes. Nayana utsav. So here, this is called a seva Nayana seva utsav. It's a festival for the seva drenched eyes of the manjaris. Because when the manjaris or kinkaris look through the interstitches of the kunja wall, from outside peeking in to see Radha and Krishna therein enjoying the intimacies of their loving exchanges, their divine Shringarati. They're not looking in there as to enjoy, or looking in there is a type of mundane activity called vicarious pleasure, where someone observes other people enjoying and tries to enjoy their enjoyment by identifying with it. Because the manjari has no enjoying spirit, not the least. Every thought, every desire, every action of the manjari is for seva, seva, seva. Seva, seva, seva. So she sees with eyes of seva. She hears with ears of seva. She touches with touch of seva. She smells with the smell of seva. She tastes with the taste of seva. Everything for the beloved, nothing for me. All for the center, nothing for me. So this is the manjari's bhav. So the manjari is standing at this Priya Kinkari, this most fortunate manjari, is standing at the Kunjadwara, looking through the spaces between the flowers, flowering latas, and forming the gate. And that Priya Kinkari is feasting her seva-drenched eyes on the Sringar Leela, the erotic pastimes of Yugal, and listening to the jingling of Vrishabhanu Nandini's waist bells. Kanchi Dwanim. So her ears are hearing that sweet sound of Radharani's waist bells jingling in harmony with the rising and falling waves of her Mahabhav and the ecstatic intimate association of her beloved Priyatam Sham. But she's not listening to enjoy that sound like sweet music, but she's listening for seva. She's listening, oh, it's very wonderful and attractive. But by chance, if one in that exchange, that by chance, if one of those waist bells falls off, then that will be some diminishing in the beautiful music of this intimate pastime. So I have to go in and I have to listen very carefully. It's very beautiful and sweet for my ears. I'm relishing the sweet divine sound of the transcendental jingling of Radharani's Divya Kanchi, her transcendental waist bells, Divya Kancha Dwani, Divya Kancha Dwanim. I'm relishing, and it's very satisfying, pleasing to my heart. Why? Because my Swamini, my Ishvari, she's taking the dominant position. She's dominating her lusty lover, her Kamini, as the verse says, Krita Rati Kamina. She's taking the dominant male position, and Rati Kunjodare Kamina. So she's Vichaya, Jai Shri. The manjaris, they chant Jai Shri, Jai Shri. All glories to our Radharani. All victories to her. Radharani Vijayate, Radharani Vijayate. Generally the man is more powerful, but sometimes the lady becomes very inspired and powerful, and the intimacies of loving exchanges. So the manjaris, they're on Radharani's team, so to speak, Radha Sneha Adik. And they're cheering for Radha. So, oh, that jingling, oh, that's very loud jingling of Radharani's waist bells. Because if Radharani is in the subordinate position, then obviously waist bells won't make much noise. There won't be much jingling. But if she's in the dominant position, then her kinkini dwani, the kanchi, or kinkini, her waist bells, the song of her waist bells, it's a song of victory. It's a Jayati Gun. Jayati Gun. Jayati Gun or Gana. Jayati Gana means a song of victory. She's proclaiming her victory over Sham. I conquered. Krishna conquered. No one conquers Krishna. Krishna is called Ajita. Ajita means no one can conquer. Jit means conquer, and Krishna is Ajit, without ever being conquered. Krishna can never be conquered. He's Ajit. But there's one person that can conquer Krishna when it counts the most. Radharani, she is Ajit. She's a Ajiti Radha. She's Paramajiti. She's Paramajiti. I don't know if that's the right exact feminine for Ajita, but he's Ajit. I guess she's Ajita. She's Ajita. It's like Ram and Rama. Ram is Bhagavan and Rama is Sita. So Krishna is Ajit. Ajit. No one can conquer Krishna. No one can conquer God. He's unconquerable. He's the supreme, most powerful. It's one of his opulences. No demon has ever defeated Krishna, and no one ever will. But so he's Ajit, but Radharani's Ajita. Ajita. She's conquering Krishna, and her Kanchi Dwani, her Kinkini Dwani, are proclaiming to the world of what? The world of Manjaris. Because only the Manjaris are hearing the victory song of Radharani over Sham. The Sakhis aren't hearing that. The other Sakhis, the Priyanarma Sakhis and the Sakhis and Paramapresha Sakhis, they're far away now. Only the Manjaris there. And she's hearing it. And she's saying, Jai Shri, Jai Shri. My Radharani is victorious. And what will she do? Afterwards, later, when Radharani, the next day or next time when all the Manjaris meet, and Radharani arranges, or maybe even personally brings, after she takes, all the Sakhis take Krishna's remnants, Radharani sends her remnants to her maidservants, and Radha and Krishna's Yugal's remnants. Her remnants, and then her remnants are Krishna's remnants. So when she sends that, sometimes she may even come herself. And when she comes herself, or she may send, you can imagine, Radharani sends her, after the Sakhis they cook for Krishna, they serve him, and Krishna served all the wonderful preparations of the Sakhis and Manjaris and Yashoda and Rohini and Nandagram. Then Radharani sits with her confidential Sakhis, her Antarangashta Sakhis, and her Sopaksha Sakhis, and they honor and they relish with divine bliss the love-filled remnants of the Sham Sundar. And then waiting for service, all of her surrendered maidservants like Tulsi Manjari, Rati Manjari, Sri Rupa Manjari, Kasturi Manjari, Manjalali Manjari, Labanga Manjari, Guna Manjari, they're all waiting eagerly to get not Krishna's remnants, but they're eagerly waiting to get Radharani's remnants. For the disciple, Krishna's Mahaprasad is very wonderful. It's very wonderful to get Krishna's Mahaprasadam. It's the disciple, the Shishya thinks, oh, how fortunate, I'm honoring Krishna Prasad. I'm sitting in the mandir, I'm sitting in this utsav or festival with all the Vaishnavas. And I have the great fortune and privilege. There's, I don't know how many, 6 or 7 billion people on this planet, human beings, that is, what to speak of other living entities. And I'm one of those lucky chosen few, and I'm sitting here honoring Krishna Prasad. How fortunate I am. And then one very fine day, after some weeks or months or whatever, he gets some Mahaprasad directly from the plate of the Lord, the patra, the Lord's offering plate, because someone knows the head Vajari, or somehow he gets, and then he feels so divinely, specially blessed that, this lucky day, I got Mahaprasadam from the Thakurji I'm serving in this temple. And what to speak if by chance some Vaishnavas come from afar, they're Yatri, Vaishnavas on Yatra, Tirtha Yatra, they come from Natwara, or they come from Jaipura, or Jagannath Puri, or they come from any place, Barsana, Nandagram, Araval, and they say, oh, Prabhu, Krishnadas, I brought some special prasad, some Mahaprasad from Nathji. What did Bhaktisiddhanta do when he was in Navadvip and Mayapur, and devotees came from Puri, the Aryan Vaishnavas, and they brought a big basket of Jagannath Mahaprasad, and they came rushing into Gurudev's room because he's born there. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's birthplace is in the holy Dham of Jagannath Puri, on the Rath Yatra main road, the Grand Road, 200 meters, maybe 500, 600 meters from the Sri Mandir of Jagannathji, his Janamsthan. So the devotees, the brahmachari runs into his room. He says, Gurudev, Jagannath Mahaprasad. And as soon as Siddhanta Saraswati hears that. Oh, Jagannath Mahaprasad, immediately in a second he offers dandavats on the floor, lying on the floor, and starts offering prayers. Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurachuse Namah. So many prayers and glorifications of the Nilachali. Ek Din Nilachali. There's one bhajan by his father. His father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, wrote a bhajan glorifying Mahaprasad, the Khichdi Prasad. Ek Dina Nilachale Mahaprabhu Dwarastale, something. One day in Nilachala Dham, Jagannath Puri, Mahaprabhu and all his associates, his Priya Bhaktas, they sat down to honor Jagannath Mahaprasad. That's a beautiful bhajan, to glorify Khichdi. A Khichdi bhajan. Not a mixed up ragas and talas, and not Khichdi bhajan like that. A bad bhajan or improperly performed, or wrong raga or wrong tala or wrong time of day and wrong raga. Not like that. But Khichdi, literally, a bhajan glorifying Jagannath Mahaprasad, Khichdi. That's there in Bhaktivinoda's songbook. So now Radharani is arranged for the manjaris to receive not Krishna Prasad. Just like I said, if you get Mahaprasad from the deities, you're very happy. If you get Prasad, you're very happy. If you get Mahaprasad, you're really happy. But when you get Guru Prasad, then you're really, really happy, because that's very, very rare to get Guru Prasad. It has to be sent to you from overseas. It may come by airmail, by overseas. I remember being in Los Angeles, and there was one devotee, Prabhupada's disciple, Shruti Kirti Prabhu, and he had, I think maybe his wife or children, whatever, and his friends also. He was from LA, I believe so. And he would send Mahaprasad by airmail to his family and friends, devotee friends back in New Dwarka, Los Angeles. And it's 1975. We had the fortune to serve there. And so he would send a note and say, please distribute this to my friends, but especially give some of Prabhupada's remnants to the Sankirtan devotees, because they're so near and dear to Prabhupada's heart, distributing his books. So we were one of those lucky dear ones, near ones, being a Sankirtan, the book distributor and preacher. So I can remember that the Sankirtan leader would say, oh, Prabhupada's Mahaprasad has come. Prabhu, come. Don't tell anyone, come. So all the Sankirtan devotees would gather at 6 o'clock in the morning in the Sankirtan office, lock the door. And he'd say, we just got this sent to us. It's from India. Prabhupada is in Vrindavan. And it's remnants. So they rip open the box and say, wow, and everyone just dives into it. Look at this. This is a fig, and it has Prabhupada's teeth marks in it. He only ate half the fig. And this is some chidwa and this and that, and everyone's going crazy. So this is the Mahaprasad of the Guru, after he takes Krishna's Mahaprasad, then he gives to a disciple. That's very, very special. So that's what the manjaris, they get the Mahaprasad of Radharani. So this one fine day, Radharani sends her Mahaprasad, the remnants of Krishna's remnants, to her manjaris. And she says, I want to, she sends it with some other Sakhis, Danishta or whomever, goes and brings the remnants of Krishna and Radha, the Yugal Prasad, to the manjaris. So then Radharani, she thinks, I want to watch the manjaris. I want to see what the manjaris look like and what they're saying when they're taking the Mahaprasad. So very secretly and privately, Radharani went to that place in Nandagram, in that one room where all the manjaris were gathered in Pratak Leela after Krishna's breakfast. And she's standing there behind a column, hidden, covered by Yogamaya. And she's watching the manjaris honor the prasad. Then she listens to their discussion. So Shripad, one manjari, says, oh, listen, manjaris, last night I had a fantastic service. Dwarasta priya kinkari paramaham shoshyami kanchi dunim. I was posted, my Guru Devi gave me the service of standing outside the Keli Kunja, the Kunja Mandir, Keli Kunja Mandir, during Radha and Krishna's intimate Shringarati, intimate love sports. And I heard the Kanchi Dwani, and I heard that beautiful ankle bells, and I saw this beautiful pastime where Radharani conquered Krishna. And so the Manjari is narrating that to the other Manjaris. And this is Harikatamritam. So all the Manjaris are hearing that, how their Swamini, how their Ishwari, how their Praneshwari Radha was victorious over Krishna, and the Manjari gave her the name Ajita. Ajit, Krishna and Ajita. And everyone was saying, oh, this is wonderful. Ajita Radha ki jai, Ajita Radha ki jai, Ajita Radha ki jai. And all the Manjaris were chanting together like that and honoring Radha's Mahaprasad. Radharani's looking, oh, how much my Manjaris love me, how much my Manjaris care for me, how much my Manjaris are proud of me. Because the Manjaris are very, very proud of their Radharani and very proud of their Krishna. But they're not proud of themselves. Chinadapi sunichena torori vasahishana. This verse is spoken by Radharani. Radharani teaches this verse to the Manjaris. Radharani gives so much shiksha to her Manjaris when they go to Goloka. We heard earlier how Radharani sometimes takes a Manjari. Psst, psst, come with me. Come with me to Govardhan. Come with me to Gavarvan. I'll take you to one cave. I want to teach you a love song that I wrote. I personally wrote this love song for Krishna. We heard that discussed in the previous verse. So then this Manjari looks around, okay, and goes with Radharani into a cave, and she teaches them this love song. We heard that class before. So how much, so Radharani's teaching them all these different talents and arts and singing and poetry and riddles and praheli, and how to serve just perfectly and through the different bhavas of sneha, man, pranaya, rag, anurag, bhav, mahabhav, modan, madan, mahabhav. But she may also teach them about this quality, trinadapi sunichena, because Radharani spoke this verse in the Gambhira, in the 20th chapter of Antya-lila Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the very end of Mahaprabhu's pastimes, and absorbed, totally drenched and submerged and drowning in Radha's Mahabhav, and radiating the effulgence of Radha's Mahabhav Kanti, illuminating the entire Gambhira, illuminating all the hearts of the devotees and the Aryan Vaishnavas, illuminating the whole Puri Dham, Jagannath Puri Dham, with the Kanti of his Mahabhav absorption. So in that mood, in that time, then this shloka came out, this ashtakam, this shiksha, this teaching is called shikshamritam. Shiksha means teaching. Radharani is giving shiksha to her Manjaris in the spiritual world. And Radharani comes in the form of Mahaprabhu. It's Krishna tasting the love of Radharani, the bhav and the effulgent kanti of Radharani's kanti. So Radharani in the Aprakrita Leela, when the sadhana siddhas enter there in their spiritual body, siddhadeya, they will also receive shiksha, shikshamritam, the nectar of Radharani's shiksha from her lips, how to sing a love song, how to string a garland, how to string a Vaijayanti garland exactly the way I string it. When Radharani strings a Vaijayanti garland, it's special, it's perfect. So that way she teaches the Manjaris, so the Manjaris can make garlands like she makes. So much shiksha Radharani will give to her Manjaris. So Radharani, through the mouth of Mahaprabhu, is also giving shiksha to all of her Manjaris. Everyone in Gaudiya Vaishnava, all the Raganugiya Bhaktas, primarily, let's say 99.9%, are in Madhurarati, and they're aspiring for the Nitya Seva Radha Krishna Yugal and the Kunjas of Vrindavan. So she's giving instruction there. Be humble, be humble, be humble. Trinadapi sunichena torori vasahishana amanina amanidena kirtaniya sadari. So they're more humble than a tree, more tolerant than a tree, more humble than a blade of grass on the ground. And they offer respects and honor and worship to everyone. And don't expect or want or even take worship or honor from anyone, at any time. So this is the training in sadhana vesh, and sadhaka vesh. And this is the reality in siddhavastu. And siddhavastu, when we attain our siddha deha, in the prakriti lila of Radha and Krishna as their eternal nitya dasis, nitya sakis, manjari dasis, then this humility will be oceanic, because the prema is oceanic. Radha Govinda Yugal Prem is like an unlimited ocean, and the water of that ocean is humility. So humility, Dainya Bhav and Prem Bhav, they are one entity. There can be no Krishna Prem without humility, and there can be no genuine humility without bhakti. Bhakti is the beginning of prema, is the bud of prema. Bhakti is the bud of prema, bhav is the flower of prema, and prema is the fall or fruit of prema. Our goal is the fruit of the bhakti lata. The bhakti lata has flowers, has a bud and then a flower. So pure bhakti is the bud, and the flower is bhava bhakti. And then the fruit of that bhakti lata, that prem fall, is Krishna prema. That fall is prema. So that love, pure love of Krishna, is filled with unlimited. So there's no one can be more humble than a manjari. So they have absolutely no pride, but they're proud of Radharani. Jai Shri, Jai Shri. So when they're hearing the Kanchi Dwani standing outside the dwar, they're relishing that sweetness. They're relishing. Their minds are so full of pride for Radharani and so much happiness. But they're hearing with seva. I said that the manjaris see with seva bhav. They hear with seva bhav. They're hearing that beautiful concert, that love concert of Mahabhav and the Nupur and Kinkini and Makar and bangles and waist bells tinkling and jingling along. And the intimacies of Radha and Krishna's ecstatic loving exchanges. But they're hearing with the desire to serve. I'm hearing this, relishing it. It's very sweet and satisfying to my mind and heart. But I'm going to serve because I'm cheering for Radharani from out here. Jai Radharani, Jai Radharani. And then when I go and meet my fellow Kinkaris and Sakis, I will glorify Radharani, Radharani's Mahima, and Radharani Kirti. Oh, last night I saw this and I heard these ankle bells jingling. It was so beautiful, so wonderful. And I'll be proudly, with great pride, I'll be glorifying my Swamini Ishwari Radha. And all my Sakis, all my Saki friends, all my Priya Manjari friends, all the dasis will be all relishing and being. I'll give so much happiness to them by this Hari Katha, this Radha Katha, this Radha Krishna Katha. They will be so joyful and happy, and they will all chant in unison: Jai Radhe, Jai Shri, Jai Ajita, Jai Ajita, Jai Ajita. So this is the very special position of the manjaris. So she's listening to the jingling of Vrishabhananandini's waist bells as she dominates her lusty lover in the kunjas. So the key word in this last line is Dwarasta Priya Kinkari Param. Aham Param. I am that fortunate one, somehow or other. The phrase, which Param means transcendental or highest. Priya Kinkari Paramaham. So this Priya Kinkari Paramaham means by performing this wonderful seva of guarding the door of Radha Madhav's Keli Kunja, I have become Param Kinkari. I have this wonderful seva. I've been given this highest position, this topmost seva of preventing anyone from intruding or obstructing or interfering with Radha and Krishna's divine, intimate, ecstatic love sports within the kunjas of Braj. I am there as the invincible, impenetrable Chokidari. Dwarasta Priya Kinkari Paramaham. Indeed, I am a Parama Kinkari, a topmost servant of Radha and Krishna. In this way, Sripad is glorifying the topmost position of Radha's manjaris by describing their topmost fortune as Radhika's beloved priyas, handmaiden kinkaris. And we as sadhakas, reading this verse, meditating in the verse, we pray also, oh Radhika, oh Shripad, oh Prabhupada Saraswati, oh Gurudev, oh Sri Nam Prabhu, when will I ever become a param priya kinkari of Sri Radha? Dore snigdha parampara no, how does it go? This is Dore snigdha parampara vijatam. Dore snigdha parampara vijatam. Dore susrin mandali. This Dore snigdha parampara vijayatam vijayatam. Ajita Radharani vijayatam. Dore snigdha parampara vijayatam. Dore surin mandali. Britya santu vidurato brajapater. Anya prasanga kuttaha. Yatra Shri Vrishabhanuja kritarati. Kunjodare kamina. Dwarasta priya kinkari paramaham. Shroshyami kanchi dvanim. Let Krishna's mother and father and his parents and all the elders of Braj stay far away at a distance. All glories to them. Let the circle of Krishna's friends keep some distance. Let the servants of the Lord of Braj, Brajapater, especially stay far away. What to speak of anyone else? Let them all stay far away from this Keli Kunja gate where I stand as a loving maidservant, hearing the sash bells of Vrishabhanu's beautiful daughter jingling as she makes love with her lusty lover. Krita rati kanjodare kamina kanchi dwanim. Shroshyami kanchi dwanim. This is the most beautiful verse. Covered so many nice points. And this tika here by Srila Anantadas Pandit, Dasji Pandit Maharaj, he has quoted, as he does often in these books, he quotes from a great devotee, Gaudiya Vaishnava, who lived in the 1950s. His name was Haripad Shila. Apparently he's also a doctor. Sometimes he's called doctor. But he took these beautiful Sanskrit shlokas because he, just for example, this book is in Sanskrit, so Russian people would never have an idea, nor English people. But now it's in Russian, so we can read it, have some idea. So what to speak of Bengalis? This book is written in Sanskrit 500 years ago by Prabhupada Saraswati. So no one would have any idea. You don't know Sanskrit, or most people don't know Sanskrit even today in India. So how would the Bengalis, these are Gaudiya Vaishnavas, how would the Bengalis know what's being said? Well, their guru would teach them. The guru would give classes, just like the guru who gave the commentaries that we're describing here has given so many classes in Bengali on this book and translated the verses into Bengali for thousands of people over all the many, many years of Kartik when he was giving classes on this book, Sri Radharas Suranidhi. So then the book came in Bengali. So the Bengali was translated into Hindi, English, and Russian. So now everyone can have access. So way back in the 50s, 1950s, not so far back, this great poet, Kavi, Gaudiya Vaishnava poet, Dr. Haripad Shila, he put the Sanskrit into beautiful Bengali songs. So Bengalis love to sing. They're expert at kirtan and bhajan and cooking. Look at Srila Prabhupada. He was, of course, expert in everything, a pure devotee of the Lord. But he really kept his namesake of being a Bengali, because Bengalis are famous in India. If you're a Bengali, you must know how to cook and do kirtan. Cook and kirtan. Or do a cooking kirtan. He was cooking in kirtan. So Prabhupada was an expert cook. He taught us all the different preparations, samosas, kachoris, halava, rasgulla, sandesh, everything. Gulab jamans, he taught us personally. He knew. He's a master cook. And needless to say, he's a master kirtaniya and bhajan person with so much pure devotional feelings and sentiments, and virtuoso of Sangeet Visharad, and singing and playing. A virtual maestro, as they say in English. Krishna's pure devotee. So the Bengalis, they'll be able to sing these beautiful songs that he's given. So he summarized the entire points of the verse in song, so it's nice to honor him and read those, since they're included time to time in the purports. Ye stana hoite dore, amata pita adikore, Joto Krishna Priya Sakagan, Vrityagana Ati Dore Anya Jana Kona Chare, Rahasyamaya Nikunja Bhavan. Nikunja Bhavan, that means Nibrita Nikunj. Krishna's mother and father, all his dear friends, his servants, what to speak of others, stay far away from the secret bower houses. Anya Jana Kona Chare, stay very far away. Rahasya Nikunja Bhavan. Bhavan means house. Bhavan. So he says, Rahasya Nikunja Bhavan. Very nice way to describe the Keli Mandir or Keli Kunj. Rahasya Nikunja Bhavan. Oh, where are you? I'm standing. Where are you right now? I'm standing at the door of the Rahasya Nikunja Bhavan. Radha se Kunja Bhavane, Kami se Krishnera Sane. Keli range hoyle pramata. Priyadasi amitar, rahi se kunjadwar, lila deki hoibo unmatta. Kunja Bhavan. That in that bower house, Radha is maddened by the lusty sports she enjoys with lusty Sri Krishna. She is completely mad. And I am their dear maidservant. I, their very dear maidservant, will stand at the gate of the bower, intoxicated by seeing these pastimes. So that Radha and Krishna are inside, the Manjari is outside, she's taking part, and they're the main players, the lover and the beloved, Nagar and Nagari, and Manjari is assisting and relishing because of her privileged position, her fortunate position. Kunja Bhavane, Pramata means completely intoxicated and maddened. And Leela Deki, Rahi se Kunja Dwara, in that very secret Kunja Dwara, Priyadasi Ami, I'm that Priyadasi standing in the Kunja Dwara. Deki, Leela Deki, I'm seeing this Leela, and Hoibo Unmata, I'm becoming senseless, I'm becoming intoxicated with transcendental Paramanand, Sevanand, Madhurya Paramanand. Karanandi Kanchidwani Kobe va Shunibo Ami Kunja Dware Hoya Kinkari Prabodhanande Te Bane E Lalasa More Mone Purna Koro Amara Ishvari Purna Koro Amara Ishvari. When will the sounds of Radha's jingling sash of bells give bliss to my ears? Being her maidservant standing by the gate, Prabodhananda says, O Ishwari Radha, please fulfill this desire on my mind. Karananda, that's such nice. It says Karan Ananda Kanchidwani. Very nice. He's translated all the concepts and ideas and points of the Leela which are contained in the Sanskrit, but with this beautiful Sanskrit version and Bengali of the same Leela adds even more flavor. He says, Karanandi Kanchidwani, because here in the Sanskrit, Prabodhananda Saraswati, he says Kanchidwani. He says Kanchidwani, Shroshyami Kanchidwani. Shroshyami means Shruti, hearing. He's saying Shroshyami Kanchidwani. I'm hearing with my ears. But here he's saying Karan Anandi. Karan means my ear, Anand. Does anyone have a question today? Someone from outside or inside? Or anyone? Let's make it more, yes? Question? No? Yes? No. Radhe Radhe. Radha Rasamniti ki jai, jai jai Shri Radhe. Radha Rani, Radha Govinda Dev ki jai, Shama Kunda ki jai, Radha Kunda ki jai, Purushottamadikat Mas Brata ki jai, Prabhupada Saraswati ki jai, jai jai Shri Radhe Sham.